no one believes anything the ANC says anymore. It is only members of the ANC where we believe each other. But when we leave, no one believes us. Because the integrity of the messenger is in question. You elect councillors who are drunkards. You put mayors who can't even read council agendas. You put municipal managers who are criminals. You protect forums of criminals. You protect corruption. Who is going to vote for an organization that is stealing from the poor? Even when we're at crossroads, even when we're losing hegemony, we must take responsibility for the non-implementation of the good resolutions of the African National Congress. It is not sustainable. Leave counter-revolution, leave wage drivers. They are operating because there's a platform for them. It is not sustainable that in any country where the demographics, where the economy does not reflect the demographics of the country. It can be that 31 years later, the face of poverty in South Africa, it is still black and youth and women. When we have created that level of inequalities, it creates a platform for counter-revolution to infiltrate and redirect our people against their revolution. Because when people are hungry, they can't think. Foul. You can't expect hungry people to think. You can't think on a hungry stomach. How does the progressives expect our people not to go and vote for counter-revolutionary organizations? They vote for them because they are hungry and angry. But if the ANC, we can deliberately implement our resolutions and make sure that the economy of this country is controlled by the majority of the people in this country, which are black in majority, make sure that our raw materials below the soil, not more than 70% of them are exported. They remain here in the country to re-industrialize the economy, to create economic activities and opportunities for the people of South Africa. There will be no need for EFF or DA or MK or anybody, because the people will follow their own parliament of the people, which is the African National Congress. We won't blame the people of South Africa for putting the ANC at 40%. We must blame ourselves as the leaders for not giving them a reason not to put the ANC at 40%. If in BGMs of the ANC, you beat each other up, you elect councillors who are drunkards, you put mayors who can't even read council agendas, you put municipal managers who are criminals, you protect forums of criminals, you protect corruption. Who is going to vote for an organization that is stealing from the poor? You know the way when the integrity of the messenger is in question, Comrade Chair of the Veterans League, I always say this thing, I repeat it everywhere I go. When the integrity of the messenger is in question, no one will believe the message. No matter how true is the message, if the integrity of the messenger is in question, no one will believe the message. Now, where we are seated, the reason there's a call by the veterans of the ANC and everyone that we must renew the ANC, it is because the integrity of the messenger is in question. No one believes anything the ANC says anymore. It is only members of the ANC where we believe each other. But when we leave, no one believes us. Because the integrity of the messenger is in question. I'm saying, everything you do, if you are in question, if you are known, Comrade Francisco, in your village that you are a criminal, you steal from people. Even if we can put you as a councillor and tell people that you are no longer a thief, you are fighting against crime, they won't believe you because they stay with you every day. They know that you still kekel ematole. If kekels are lost there in Gamatole, we must go and look them kwa Francisco. No more amazing councillor, no more imposer because you are in charge of structures, whether PC or regime. You can impose him because you have the power to do it. But the people who must support you and vote for you, they stay with him every day. They know he's a criminal. Now, we no longer have that luxury. The people of South Africa have told us that we can take you out of power any day. We love you, but self-correct. That's it, Francisco. Hey, the whole interview.
The National Executive Committee took time to have an in-depth discussion on the decision of the South African Communist Party to contest the forthcoming elections independent of the ANC. We recognize that the South African Communist Party is an independent political organization that has the right to contest elections as it sees fit. As the ANC, we have no wish, nor do we have any intention to interfere with the decision that the South African Communist Party has taken. However, as we have indicated to the South African Communist Party, our ally, we disagree with the decision. We believe that this decision has fundamental implications for the strategy and program of the National Democratic Revolution and the alliance that has led the struggle for liberation in our country since the 1920s. While the alliance between the SACP and the ANC has spanned the better part of a century, this is not about the past. It is not about nostalgia. As the ANC, we are seriously concerned that this decision taken by the South African Communist Party to participate in elections in their own name and right will significantly weaken the forces for national democratic change. We will continue to seek to engage with the SACP on how we will run those elections. We will go out from this meeting to explain our position to our structures at every level of our organization so that comrades, members of the ANC are empowered to explain the challenge this poses to our transformation agenda. We are determined to ensure that these developments do not divide our movement or cause instability. We reiterate that the SACP members who hold ANC membership are full members of our movement with the same rights and duties as any other ANC member, rights and responsibilities that are clearly stated in our Constitution. So we will continue to engage with the party to see the extent to which the decision they've taken can be fully understood and also the extent to which we will be able to work together as the 2026 elections come, in which they have decided to participate in their own name and right. We also took time to discuss the national dialogue, and the National Executive Committee reaffirmed its position that it sees the national dialogue as a process to enable inclusive dialogue amongst our people, inclusive discussion and conversation across the country about the vexing issues and challenges that face our nation. The national dialogue is therefore a series of what we expect to be meaningful conversations about the South Africa that we all want, and how we must get to that ideal South Africa of our dreams. The first National Convention will be held on the 15th to the 17th of this month, August, bringing together around 1,000 delegates from more than 30 different sectors for which our people are represented in one fashion or another. This National Convention is intended to set the agenda for the national dialogue and outline how the dialogue will unfold in localities across the country over the next 8 to 10 months. Across the country over the next 8 to 10 months. The eminent persons group that has been chosen to be the real guarantors and the wise people has already been making a meaningful contribution in ensuring that the national dialogue will be held properly. This dialogue is an opportunity to mobilize South Africans to address the challenges our country faces and to restore our country to the platform of transformation, development, and progress. It is an opportunity to build on the achievements of the last 3 decades by defining a shared vision and a common program to take South Africa forward. We must be clear that the national dialogue does not displace the democratic processes mandated by our Constitution. Its outcome cannot supersede the electoral mandates that was given to the parties that are part of our parliament and our national executive. But it can deliver a social compact that outlines clear commitments and responsibilities for different stakeholders, government, political parties, business, labor, civil society, manifested in a variety of formations, be it religious communities, sporting communities, and a whole number of other social formations. It will also give opportunities for individual citizens of our country to participate. The task that we have is to ensure that the outcomes of the national dialogue can be institutionalized in a manner that informs and guides the direction our country takes moving forward. We've been clear that this dialogue must be as inclusive as possible. It needs to be citizen-led, and it must reflect the views of the people of South Africa. Citizens must be able to freely and fully participate in the national dialogue as individuals in organized formations and through their representative bodies. As I conclude, the road ahead requires clear programmatic action, and the National Executive Committee was clear that it is the ANC that must continue mobilizing our people as we take the actions that need to be taken to take the country forward. We must urgently implement a recalibrated development plan or path which will be centered on jobs, reindustrialization, land reform, youth empowerment, the empowerment of the women of our country, and the professionalization of the state. Political education must become compulsory at all levels of the movement and also in the public service. In this regard, we must welcome the fact that over 100,000 ANC members have now completed the foundation course that was launched a few months ago. A renewed social compact must be pursued, not to protect vested interests, but to secure a national consensus on fundamental economic and social transformation and the battle against poverty, inequality as well as unemployment. At a time of deep social anxiety, the ANC must again become the organizer of hope. It must be the merchant of hope to our people and the architect of national unity. It must also be the driver of ethical, capable, and activist leadership across society. We must reconnect our theory of revolution with the daily lives and dreams of our people in practice. Above all, we must reassert the ANC as the strategic center of change. The government of national unity is transitional, and it is also a contested formation. Our alliance with the SACP, COSATU, and SANCO is historic. It is principled and non-negotiable. Our renewal must be organizational, ideological, as well as cultural and political. We must build a disciplined activist movement that earns its leadership of society not by decree, but in practice. Our cadres must embody the values of service, of humility, and revolutionary commitment. For if the ANC falters, the revolution that is meant to bring about fundamental change in our country will falter. But if we act decisively to restore trust and renew our purpose, then this NEC and this generation of leadership can yet turn the tide to ensure that there's a better life for all South Africans. Our people are watching, and history is calling, and the future is waiting. This National Executive Committee is up to the task and will continue to execute the mandate it was given by our membership at our last conference. Thank you very much.
Family, what MALATJI has just said here, it is true. And what he is saying, he is studying the graphics of the ANC, understanding where they are and what is going on within and outside. When I say outside, I mean to the voters of the ANC. He has said a mouthful. MALATJI has said a mouthful. And this message that MALATJI is saying is powerful. He has called a spade a spade. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, why is he saying this now? Is he trying to convince the voters that we are at work, we are doing something? Just bear with us. We can see the problem from inside. That's why we are addressing it. But by the look of things, ANC has repeatedly said one and the same thing. There was a Zondo commission. And I don't hear MALATJI saying the president has to go, or Cyril Ramaphosa has to go, Mandashe has to go, and all the corrupt that are linked to any corruption has to go. Because he has to be straight with his message. Though his message, it is powerful, but he has to be straight because the youth have got power. The power of the people in office is on the hands of the voters. The youth of the ANC can still change can turn down the tables and say, enough is enough. We cannot stand it anymore. This is what we are saying as the youth. But he is not saying this here. He is poking on the really problem that are faced by the ANC. But how does he say there are problems when they are not addressing them? Every day it's been a new dawn, new renewal. But this cabinet that they have, in the Zondo Commission, most of the people were implicated. And the worst part of it, because Zondo himself, he is tinted. Because he was rewarded to get the office of the CJ. It was a reward because when he called Ramaphosa to testify, he had been guided in the Zondo Commission. There were questions that were not as serious questions because he was the deputy president of Jacob Zuma. But some questions were just shifted. And the same Zondo has been sitting on the CR17 documents that are sealed. Pala issue. They are sitting on it. Until he retired. So why we say this? For Zondo to say something today and say, this is this. There's nothing. He's just blowing. He's farting in water. Let me say that. When somebody farts in water, it doesn't smell. Usuzele emanzini. Ukunuka kuzuziwa abantu. So I don't understand why the youth is not standing up and say enough is enough. We cannot lose this time. Since Ramaphosa has been president of the ANC and the country, youth are not employed. ANC is going down. Percentages of the ANC and the voters, they don't more trust the ANC as much as he said, MALATJI said. Family, what do you think about this? Do you think MALATJI was saying this from his heart, that he feels he has made his own study on the ground and the graphics are telling him that things are not working well for the ANC? Or he's just smearing voters with something in their face to think that they are working on something? Drop your comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's fix our country. Bravo.